Okay, the first step in trying to nickel plate some parts would be to make the solution with the nickel ions in it. So we'll start with some vinegar and some salt, some nickel anodes. You can just get those on Amazon or wherever you can find nickel, and something to put everything in, and a DC power supply. And you could use a phone charger for this as well if you don't have an actual DC power supply. I filled the container with vinegar, and that would work, but it would take a long time. So that's what the salt is for, is to make the process go quite a bit faster. So we'll put more salt, some salt in here. I dissolved the salt until it was almost nearly dissolved in the solution. And then we'll put in our anodes. I bent the edges of the anodes so we can hang them over the edge of the container. So it'll look like this when they're in. And then we'll hook up our power supply to it. At this point, it doesn't matter which positive or negative is on which one. We're just trying to make the solution. So it's hooked up. We'll turn the power supply on. So right now 9.1.9 volts, almost 4 amps. Let's see what's happening in here. Should see the process happening. Now, obviously there's lots of bubbling happening going from one anode to the other, and this should fill the vinegar solution with nickel ions. And now we wait. This is after about 5 minutes, and you can see it's starting to turn green, but we want it to be a much deeper green color, so we'll keep it going. Here we are at a half an hour now. Much greener. I'm gonna let this go for a little longer yet though. See if it'll absorb more of the nickel. Here's a shot of the action taking place. It's bubbling off of one anode, and that would be the negative side. Okay, we're coming up on an hour here. I think it'll be good enough. We'll stop the process. We have our nickel plating solution made, and we'll go on to trying to plate some parts. Okay, so the parts need to be clean and degreased and made look as good as possible so that the plating will take. And then put on the copper wires, and then put in the solution. We'll add the negative wire, so it's ready to go, and then turn on the power supply, and they should start plating. We'll give this about 10 minutes. We'll see what we have. So each of these parts has been in the solution for about 7 to 10 minutes, and they look really good in person. I can see a couple blemishes here and there, but definitely much better, almost like new. And keep in mind that they need to be cleaned and degreased very well. I used a wire wheel and a vibratory bowl on these, which does leave some substrate kind of marks and things in it that you can still see. So the smoother the better. And then clean again with alcohol afterwards. Some people use a muriatic acid dip prior to dipping it into the solution as well. But yeah, overall this worked pretty good.